Prior to jumping into the next video, let's go ahead and circle back right at this moment to the dynamic expression here. We did not have the date, or sorry, the minutes, the time duration displaying correctly here for our exercise history. What I wanted to show off is that dynamic expression, to get that one straight in your Bubble backend, we were working with the parent groups yoga app's exercise history, but what we did there is we were actually on the exercise history. So let's see, we went to class duration. What I want to have happen is go to yoga classes, and then that'll bring up this thing and just go to the length. And so just grab the length of that. So it's like if you've taken this further vinyasa class, well, it's 18 minutes long. If you've taken beach yoga, that's 19 minutes. And so we just display that as a solution for just wrapping up that one point from the last video. Now I'll take a brief moment to go over the other dynamic expressions on these. So we got parent groups, yoga, exercise history, date taken, formatted as Tuesday, March 15th. Again, this is kind of a preference thing, so just choose what you like best. And just to revisit these classes where it's not equal to one, so it's plural, and then class here, just the conditional of if it is equal to one, then have that element be visible. So the plural and singular is right. However, though, I'll just note that I decided, 77 min, everyone understands that, knows what it means. You could make 77 mins. I just didn't go that far with it here. So just some preference choices there. And let's dive into the next video now. Hey everyone, Joe Manu here. Welcome to this video where we're continuing our design work here in the Lotus Yoga app. And today we're going to be working on two things. One, very simple and basic, which I'll show here on the screen, is that this login sign up page, kind of a settings page, it's kind of a catch-all that they've built here. We'll be building that. That'll be the simple thing. And then the other thing that we'll be building is a user login and sign up. So that is something that we have, and it's pretty straightforward, but more involved than because we haven't done it before. So up until this point, if you've been following along, you might have thought, how does the user sign up to this app? When I create this app and I launch it out into the world, how do I get folks, all of these people, how are they going to make accounts? So you've thought that, great question. Today, we're going to cover that. So before we dive into the part of actually developing a bubble, one quick word about account signup. So as you know, from someone who uses a lot of apps, as I'm sure you do, there's various forms, right? You could sign up from like Google or Facebook, or on the iPhone, they have the Apple sign up that they've recently added to the repertoire of buttons that you can use to sign up, right? So some of those options are available with plugins here in Bubble. Those are paid options. So I'm not going to show that in this video. But, I signed up for a new app the other day that's kind of like a offshoot, purpose-only social media type of app, and it just had a username and a login from a pretty well-known figure, and so I think that when I look at some of these things, you can launch, and especially what we're doing here with this course, you can launch an app, without all the bells and whistles, right? Because you want to get out the door, you want to get that momentum going in your favor. So I think that is kind of the goal here for this. And check it out. Okay, so I've already got up an element here. And let's see. That element, before I dive into explaining about it, I want to double check something on our page that we're working on here. Yes. So I want to just take this and delete it quickly. Okay, cool. So here on Bubble, because I want to delete that because I want to show you how to work with this. So here on your left-hand menu, under Reusable Elements, you will find some default ones. Now yours will look a little bit different. Again, I have other things going on in this particular app. But you will have one that says sign up, login, and pop up. Now, this element here is connected to, if you click on your pages, which will underneath this bottom part, these reusable elements, you will see probably footer, header, and sign up login pop-up. So you want to go to that sign and login pop-up. And now I have already styled this a little bit. Our background is 121212 for for our whole app, for everything. I've given these buttons this color that we're using throughout the app, and then when the button is pressed, it has a bit of a change. So that's just a default. That's a default setting that comes with Bubble, this conditional that when it's pressed. So you could, in yours, go ahead and go to not the one on the bottom left here. This is important, but the one here under this area. This is how you actually edit this element, because then you'll take this repeatable element and you'll bring an instance of it onto the page, right? So, okay. So what you want to do is you'll just want to, the only thing I've changed is this color and the button and when it's pressed, and this background color here to 121212. So cool. That is the only difference between mine and yours and what's set up in your system. Let's take a peek over at the workflow area here, where we're looking, where they've got kind of some out of the box stuff that's happening. And why don't we also though look at this pop-up, this out of the box pop-up? There's a couple different before we look at those workflows. There's a couple different views here or groups. So this group, let's start with this one, signed up. Like the person does not have an account, so they need to sign up. So there are some states which control. So I will click on the two of these, so you can see the toggle here. So they actually both have the same conditions, and then some of those workflows that I almost peeked into earlier, they kind of control, who's clicked what, what's clicked where. But the great thing is you don't have to actually worry about that. I'm just explaining what Bubble has already set up for you. So I don't think we'll spend too much time actually, looking really closely. The main thing is that to understand that the person can use this pop-up to sign up. Let's hide that. Or log in if they already have an account and they are somehow logged out for some reason. And a password reset. So also, edited this button color. So you'll want to update yours for that as well. So that is the chunk of the sign up flow that we're going to be working with here today. Let's go ahead and go back to our page. And let's now, on the bottom left here for this sign up login pop-up, now we are going to plop it onto the page. And actually, I don't think it matters the particular location, because it will always show kind of here in the middle from its own styling. So here is our pop-up. You cannot edit it here like you can other stuff, because you edit it over in that, because it's a repeatable element, right? So it's kind of meant to be used. We're building a mobile page. Bubble is something that is also used for desktop applications. And the reason why there's reusable, kind of a tangent here, but is that you could have like 10 different pages and someone comes on and they need to log in from all of those depending on how they arrived at the site. So that is just why it's not editable here. It's editable over here. Okay, so we need to now set up some conditionals to help us with getting everything displayed correctly. The first one is okay, no conditional user ones. Good. So we want to create a conditional that says when the user is logged out, which means they need to create an account or they need to log in. When that happens, we want to show the this is the element that we just dropped onto the page. So we want to show that, and then we also want to for the sake of how this app will work, when we build this app and we put it into the App Store, the URL that we're going to place in our app will have this nav home, and this nav home is basically helping people start at the home spot. So we want to also hide home group if the user's logged out. So oh yeah, so then there's one other thing that you'll need to do back over here under this reusable elements area for the editing. So you get a different workflow when you're working over here. When someone signs up, I actually already had this set up because I was kind of taking a look at some things, but I'm going to just delete these so that you can see the step by step. So that basically there is some default functionality that that will already be built. The show just kind of clicking through these various workflows to show off that okay, so this is actually something from a different app that I have working in here. So we're going to say the Lotus Yoga team. And there might be some boilerplate text that is already included with the bubble one. I kind of forget, but if not, you could just grab something like this and have it sent from your app for when someone wants to reset their password. So that when someone signs up, what's happening is we're taking their email and we're inputting the password. We're also making sure that those match, and then it's this workflow action is the action that signs the user up. This is just some of the stuff of that if someone shows up here and they're like, no, I already have an account, I don't need to. I click log in. That is what this is doing. It's just switching it over so that you can see the other group. And then if someone's in the other group, this login group, somehow, but they're like, oh no, I don't have an account, and they click this sign up button to get back to here. That is what this final workflow step here is. So I just want to run over that because I know sometimes when you're seeing things for the first time, it's just really nice we've been exhaustive, right? We've looked at every single one of these workflows. So you can just clear in your mind, like nailed it, nothing missing from, what's happening over here. There's nothing that I don't know about, right? Which is a good feeling. You want to feel like you got a handle on things. So cool. The reason why I brought us back here again in the first place, though, is after someone signs up and this pop-up is hidden, you'll want to, and we'll do it here, go to navigate, do the navigation thing, where we navigate to this mobile page, the nav parameter equals home. So every time someone logs up or signs up, or if they're logged out, if they find themselves logged out and they log back in, we will send them to some more parameters to page, nav, add another parameter. Nope, too many things. Home. And delete this. Okay. So what is happening then, to recap, is with those and this workflow here, that if the user's logged out, show this thing and hide the home group. I would add that it's possibly we might want to hide all of the groups if there's ever like a bug and someone is, because basically if otherwise they could get this view, which we just want them to see just this sign up when they first jump into the flow of things. So But let's go ahead and refresh this. And what do we expect to have happen? The user's not logged in, so this condition will be true. Now, we also have, when the page is loaded, we have some other stuff that's happening. So we have a conditional. Okay, and then that workflow ran. So we saw that. I'm going to reload one more time. So we have a few things going on. Basically, we have workflow. Okay, I know what we need to do. We need to go to the home group and say on this conditional, right now, like this is going to say, hey, show this. But this other workflow saying, hey, don't show this. So we kind of don't want to flicker there. So what we can do is just add to this home group and the current user. Here we are. Got a lot of plugins and a couple other options around here, but don't worry about those. So we want this to show when the user is logged in. So if the user is not logged in, it's going to be impossible to get to this page to start with. Now we could also add this again to the other groups. You might, be recognizing that. But basically what I want to see here is I want to see a page load with no flicker of any kind of background screen. Basically, if someone is not signed up, I want them to only see this sign up screen. Yeah, so someone is not signed up. So here's what we're going to do. I may already have, we're going to say yoga app, yoga test at test.com. Password, and then sign up. So we're signed up. And since I'm in a browser, it's giving me that. But here we are. So we are a signed up user. And I'm going to do something. I'm going to go to the badges, first class. I want to go take a first class. And then I want to show you something cool in the database. So we click that. If you'll remember, that's our first class. But over here in our library, we got the exercise history. Still going to work on this 0 minute thing here. That's a different thing for another day. But let's check our badges here. So that's good. But so what I want to show off here in the data for the app data, I'm going to go to all users, although mine is going to be a little bit messy. And I want to search for yoga. To yoga test. Oh, whatever. Here's the database. Here's all this stuff. There's just a bunch of other things going on in this database. But basically, here is this record, this user yoga test that was just created, and let's check it out. So this user has a bunch of other stuff associated for another app that I have. Again, I'm developing in perhaps a non-best practice way, according to some, but from others, you just do, you just build, move fast, and build. So yoga exercise history is this class. Further vinyasa. I'm just going to show off here over in yoga. Let's see, classes. Let's search for this. Or is it classes modified? Further vinyasa. All right, so I just want to try and compare these two. 7460. Okay, so that is, I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore that last part. I do want to figure out though what's up. So what is that? What is that? Yoga exercise history. Oh, that's the, okay. I will show you. I'm not, I don't want to put something out there where it's left as like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. What I want to show is this exercise history that was created, this entry, by Yoga Test. So here's this exercise history, just to compare 27,460, 27,460. So that's actually what we're showing. We're saying this. And the class is this further vinyasa, which is tied to an exercise history record. Cool. So what else could we look at? We could go to class. And let's add this as a favorite. So now let's check our database for users, and let's look at yoga favorite class list, further vinyasa. Let's do an acro yoga as a favorite. So we've got further vinyasa and acro yoga as a favorite. And look at that. So I didn't even have to refresh this page. And this yoga class favorite list updated. So very cool. How many yoga classes have we taken? One. That's from some other workflow. But basically, did we start our first class? Yes, we did. Notice that, I'm going to set this to no and hit save. And we're going to come and see that data updated over in our badges. So the first class here, got it. And then if we update this again, first class taken, yes. Save. Boom. So I didn't even update anything to the page. The database just had that value changed, and that value is available to this page, live and so forth. Cool. So, but we don't really have any way to log the user out, and we don't have anything going on for this login sign up area. So let's work on that next. So what we want to do is we want to grab, out of all of these, I think the badges one is probably favorites. Yeah, either favorites or badges. I think favorites because the badges has a bunch of stuff to delete. So we take this favorites group and we will do a copy. Nope, not a cut, not a cut. A copy. So I undid that. Paste. And then we want to call this one user settings. We want to say user settings. Take this here. We want to take this and go here. And okay, a lot of the things, this is great. We just have to delete this. And we're set up to be working with this settings, group header, group collapser. Great. Back button, call that user settings page back button. We've got an HTML element on this page, which we do not need. Remember, that is for just letting some data load more quickly in a repeating group. Group collapser, group heading. What else do we need to have happen here? Okay, so this is the page to get a visual overview that we're working and to build. Now, their user signup is different than ours because this is an iOS app that I've taken this video screenshot of, and I signed up using the Apple sign-in for this app. So by doing so, it actually doesn't really even give the option to sign out. I'm just showing off that functionality for. It's very common, I guess, in many apps, because let's say that probably not this one, but you could imagine something like I don't know, Airbnb, and two people are together, a couple perhaps, and one has lost their phone, but they're trying to use their other phone to and they've saved some things on their Airbnb account, and for where they're going on vacation, right? They're on vacation, right? This is a really specific scenario. They're on vacation, one of them loses their phone, and they have their other stuff, in their account on Airbnb, so they want to log out of the mobile app so that they can log into their account. So there's a use case, right, to explain why something like this should exist. So, but as we look at what they have set up here, so like what I just described there couldn't happen in this app, because as we take a look at this, so we got settings, and I'll just note Siri shortcuts, not going to be doing that in this video. Health app, dark mode, not going to be doing that. Already have it dark, just kind of by default. I guess that's how my phone is set up, so this app did that. Invite friends, change app language. We're not going to dive that deep into it, but those are, these are kind of like bells and whistles. My goal with this course is, as you can tell, we've spent a lot of time here. In fact, you're amazing for even making it to this point. I feel like we're friends. So to get to this point, right, I want to get this app out fast, right? Like, this is the point. So not as many bells and whistle things. So what else do we have on this page? Some schedule reminders, some alert stuff. Not going to be building those notifications in at this time in this course. The ability to download, we do not have that set up for this app as well. We'll just assume that a person is available on Wi-Fi or cellular network to be able to watch the videos of this app. Is just, again, version 1. So, but the about, the feedback. So what we're going to do is we are going to say user settings. What else do we have here? About. Pretty simple. Feedback, contact us. Okay. All right, so we've got our stuff made. Woohoo. What I want to have here is I don't want to reinvent the wheel for the layout of text. So which other pages do we have? We actually have on our library page itself. So what would be a sign in, sign out? Interesting. All right, we're just gonna grab some text from the visual elements area, make it about 280 long, remove the styling, and we will call this, we're gonna have 2 pieces of text actually. This we're gonna give 16. We're gonna say logged in as, we're going to say dynamic data, the current users, email. And actually, we're going to style this a little bit nicer. So this will be bold, 16. 16 times 1.5 is another 8, so that's 24. So this needs to be 24 high. And let's make this pretty light colored. So logged in as, and we're going to make this element fixed with, and then we're going to grab a piece of text here, and this one will not be fixed with. So this, what do we have? 120. So 120. And we will give this one some new styling as well. So we'll just say 14. That means 21 here. Keep the same line spacing just for, I think, layout space or layout sake. And then here, we will add the current users. Now, what you just saw me do here is basically just some things I know from styling text using these two different, one that's bold and then one that's lighter in font. And actually, well, I think whatever color that was at is good. Yeah, cool. So this back button, user settings back button, let's just check what this is, and then we'll go to the other side and get us. So when this is clicked, navigate, go to page, and nav, navigate back to the library. And now we want to set up the library group to make this clickable. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to, group, I've got all of these, group these elements into a group. You should see on the left side here, yep, that group formed. So this is group user settings. When this group is clicked, we want to navigate to the user settings page. Remember, it's important that these are exactly the same capitalization and this dash in between. So user settings. Okay. So that value is set for that parameter. And let's take a look at what we got so far. Our progress. All right. Moment of truth. Yeah, so you are logged in as Yoga Test. All right, so that could look a little bit better. Yeah. But we've got the current user. So you're logged in as, I think we just want to make that bigger. 16, 24. Try that. Basically, one is bolded in white and one is gray and not bolded, and those should look pretty good. And then we want to also give an option to log out. User settings logged in as. Okay, so actually I want all this stuff together here to go roughly here-ish. I don't remember where this started, but I think right about here. Or is it here? Definitely here. Let's check the favorites page. Yes, 4 boxes. 4 boxes. Okay, yeah, I think that just makes more sense. So we'll do some about terms and conditions, privacy policy, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, website. So for these, all we're going to do is grab a link and external URL, add the destination URL. So I don't really like the link color. I just want it to be regular old text. 16 is actually a little small. Let's go 18. 1 line space is fine. So then we'll make this 20. And just tighten this up. Or just hit the center horizontally. Cool. So nice round numbers. Not fixed width. It is visible on page load. No need to apply max width. Basically, what this would say is, so terms and conditions, like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Which one of those is most interesting? I think follow us on Instagram is what I want to start with. And we could link this to Instagram.com/ whatever the particular link is. But if we wanted it to link to the app, there's something different that we would do. But however, this is good for now. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook. It's hard, underline, sure. Although there is no hover in mobile. So Facebook, I'm going to say open these in a new tab. Yep, cool. What else? Website, terms and conditions, privacy policy. Put the boring ones last. So about, like us on Facebook. All right, 20 is a little bit big. No, 18 is a little bit big. Let's go 16. Websites. Say Google for now. And because of how this is set up, we would just have to have Google, terms and conditions or whatever your URL would be. And then because it's a link, we can only send it to one spot. Or if you happen to have both uh, both of these on the same page, you could just link to one. But most people don't. I think they're two different legal documents or disclaimers to have about how you handle people's data and so forth, their use of the app. All right, cool. So, hope that's not what we want to do. Basically, we'll just get a log out button here. We'll put an email for the feedback, and we'll call this page good. Because again, this is enough to launch with. Yeah, follow us on Instagram, like us. Feels a little bit tight, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, yeah, we could work on a 10 off set. So this goes to 354. If I want 20, so I want 374. Same with this guy, 374. Cool. So then I also want a button for log out. Logged in as, and this is just going to be a simple old piece of text. Log out. And this, yeah, that's fine. I want to do one thing here. Just because I don't want it clickable. I don't want it clickable all the way across, but I do want user settings. Por favor. This. This. Okay, so that's what's keeping that set. Okay. That's the trick. All right, yes, so the trick we want to use, so we want to take this, copy it, bring it down. We want these to be the same. 124, 126. All right. And this is on. Okay. So we got a little mess up here. Nudge that 2 over. Nudge that 2 over. Nudge this 2 over. And who would have thought making an app involved so many little tiny things. All right, let's look at the top of these ones. The top is 374, 374, 416, 420. So get these lined up. Group them, but I think we're good. What I'm going to actually do here is I'm just going to delete all this text. Call it text spacer. Over here in our responsive area, should because what happens if we're looking at this on an iPad? It really does bounce over, doesn't it? All right. Time to compromise. This thing will just go the length of this. Yep. I want to make it not fixed width. I'm going to make this not fixed width. Let the responsive engine do its thing. And then but I do want to say that this one should stay left. This one should stay right. No, I take it back. It can stay middle. Hello. And this one can stay left. Nope. Maybe we got to make that stay fixed with, stay fixed, no, stay, you can stretch. Let's take a look at this iPhone. Looks fine. Okay, did we not center horizontally? Perhaps I will put these into a group. This should be 0, 0, yes. The width, this is 100. This should be 180 then. Put this at 100. Go 180. Okay, new solution. But this is good to know. It's good to learn that here's the solution. Delete this. No, I want to go back before this group was created. Delete this. Center horizontally. Center horizontally. Okay, so essentially these should end up as this. And then what we want to do here is go to we want to put the dynamic data, current users, email, the rich text editor. We want to bold this. We want this remove formatting, font size. Nope. 1. So let's see how that looks. Just from a spacing standpoint. Cool. So about what we expect. And then let's go back to the rich text editor. Let's go to, do we have an HTML view? We do not. We want to make this one gray. Save. So we've got that color. Let's delete the size. The size did not help. And call it good. Remove that bold. Have this part be bold. Let's see what we got. Okay, great. So logged in as yoga test. Log out. So I want to bring this up, say to here. Still working with the 10 offset, but these look pretty similar for, nope, gonna kill the offset, that's fine. Bottom, from the bottom of this text to the next heading, I think that looks good. Now we want to have an action take place when the person hits log out. So we'll go to start and edit workflow. And the action will be for the account, log the user out. Okay. So let's see what happens when we do that. I think we'll also want to navigate to the home page. Otherwise, we'll just get a pop-up. Yep. But so we'll log back in, yoga test at test.com. Go to the library again, go to the settings area. So what we want to have happen when we log out, okay, we can just hide. Since we'll only ever log out of the library page, we'll just hide that. And then that way there's just less workflow steps. Because when we log back in, then we will go to the home page. So here we are, logged in as our user. We log out. And what did we want to hide? Oh, not the library group, the user settings. So what I expect to see here, since we loaded the user settings, when the user is not logged, excuse me, is we'll see this, but the user would never see this because they would never start at this user settings page. Yoga test at test.com. We'll log in and head over to that settings page. We'll log out. Group user settings. Okay. So now, we're also working with conditional on this. So actually, we could just add and the current user is logged in. So that's great because then we can remove this workflow step so it will go faster. So I don't remember if we're logged in or logged out in this moment, but we'll find out. Okay, so we want to log in. Okay. We want to go to that settings page. We want to log out. This page should disappear because that condition is no longer true. of having this condition. It is user navs, but it has to be that and the user being logged in to show this group. So let's log back in. Should take us back to the home page. And boom. Last thing we'll do is we'll just copy and paste one of these. And we'll say the destination is feedback. No, we'll just delete that. Simple text will be fine. And then show a little trick here. Copy formatting, paste formatting, 280. Center horizontally. I think it also needs to be 24. And this text is to say support at yoga.remade.com. Great. So let's see how that looks. And as far as functionality here, we could add this, but that's just another piece of text, some kind of version number. And as far as the other bells and whistles, it just will not be a part of this this first version or this first release of this app. Yeah, so support at, and then bring this up to here. Perfect. Cool. All right, let's go to the home page and let's take a look at this app we just built, everyone. Congratulations. We have handled every part of this app. And so we're going to just do, believe at the end here, what I've got is a look at all of this app. So we've got, this is just a look at the app in daylight mode or whatever, or non-dark mode, and then in dark mode. So, yep. So back here in dark mode, let's take a look. We've got this home page. We've got this courses page that you can scroll through and filter by. We've got these plans. Yeah, okay, I must have, okay, I'm going back, just trying to remember what was going on when I was recording this. This is the home page. We've got four groups, or 4 rows. We've got this classes page, where you can filter, see classes. We've got the plans where you can join a plan or be joined into a plan. And if you click into a plan, then you see all the stuff that's in it. Click into the library. We've got this library page. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this adventure. It's been a wild one. It's been a lot of time and effort. I'm really, really thrilled that you made it this far. It means a lot about what you're up to, and it means a lot to me that you would continue with this course to make it here. I think it's really cool. If there is anything that I can do to help you reach your goals of getting something online, please reach out to me. Let me know in the comments. I do have a site that I will link to, which has all the information about any additional beyond these tutorials, available services, or anything that I could do to help you get your app into the App Store. So just again, real quick, like we just reviewed on here, or on this on this overview, our app, as you know, is basically, in most ways, in a pre-release type of way of let's just, hey, I built this, let's get it out there for the world to see. Looks like we could fix that. But we already know how to do that. So we'll call it good. Library, favorites. Looks like that needs to be fixed. This needs to be fixed. Sorry, this minute needs to be fixed. So I will say though that at this point we can basically call it complete. If you would like to finish off those other items, join me in a future video. But otherwise, we have successfully done this app. Congratulations, everyone, and until next time.